awareness.
Okay.
There is no better time to emphasize true identity than in this day or an age.
All right.
Why? Because without that, the pressure is real.
Yeah. It really is. And
Yes.
you remember that thing on social media, the pressure is getting worse. Because like you're saying, it's true. It's like you go on social media, you see this person is here, this one is getting married,
this one is getting
pregnant,
married, this one has a child,
right?
This one, yeah. And it seems like your life has just hit a dead end. So that depression that people are talking about is coming out of the fact that, do you really know your journey?
Yeah.
Are you appreciative of where you are at today? That it doesn't matter when the rest of the people are going ahead, you at least know this is who I am, this is where I'm going, and there's going to be a price for me to get to where I'm going.
You want to be.
Many times it's because people have not taken stock of what they have within them in the first place.
Oh, okay. All right.
So it's important for you to take stock of your own strengths, your own gifts, your own talents, your own abilities, such that I'll be able to appreciate you, Winnie, on your unique journey with your unique strengths, with your unique gifts, and where it has taken you.
Yeah.
That then will give me capacity. Should I fail somewhere along the way, because I know what I have within me, I have capacity to bounce back, because already I know what it is that that I can use, to now help me to bounce back again. That is the missing link in many of the lives of the people.
And then most of the time we also tend to compare. You know, compare ourselves, and what you're saying is appreciate your journey, appreciate where you are now, and knowing yourself will help you sort of like, you know, push yourself towards getting to where you want to be. You know, majority of the times when we talk to life coaches, and sometimes people on social media will say, you know, these life coaches make it look so easy to achieve that, but it takes a lot of work, a lot of dedication, a lot of patience with oneself.
Not really. I think that the thing about it is we probably will make it sound easier because we've taken the journey ourselves.
All right. Okay.
You get it? But the truth is, people are lazy about introspecting.
Oh, okay. Okay, we're being called out this morning.
Yeah, but it's true. It's true. People are lazy about introspecting. We're going into the beginning of the year or the end of the year. People want to set goals. On what basis, Winnie? If you don't know what you have within you.
All right. Something to think about.
Yes. You can only set goals on the basis of you understand your identity. Therefore, you know what it is that you're working with to take you where you want to go.
Okay.
So sometimes, and that's why you need, that's why people need life coaches. Maybe sometimes, maybe because we have come in many colors, you get it? So people are not able to quite identify, this is the person that I need for my journey. But the truth is, even life coaches have specializations. There's a life coach who's called to actually help you to identify your purpose. There's a life coach who is actually called to help you in your marital problems. There's a life coach who is called to help you if you're overcoming a divorce or whatever. So it's important for you to understand where are you, which season are you at now, and what do you need for where you are going for the next space. So that's really, really important. And then again, just take time. I keep saying, as a matter, it's okay to party. But please take time to introspect.
Okay, I see that. And it's good that we've established ground so that we know when all these challenges, when uncertainties come, then you know how to navigate. Because majority of the times people think they do not have the answer, but really you have the answer because you come from a position of understanding. Okay, so we have a lot of feedback to go through, but before that, let's get to hear what the people of Makueni had to say as far as the year 2022 and how it has been for them. Take a look.
Hii mwaka nilikuwa na matarajio ya kuomoka, lakini vile kiangazi iliweza kutupiga sana, ukapata kwamba kazi haziko, pia pesa haziko. Yale mambo ulikuwa nimepanga kufanyia hii mwaka kama kujenga na kununua plot yangu, sasa hivi siwezi nikamanage, sababu uchumi pia nao ulizorota, kwa sababu ile pesa unapata, hiyo pesa unapeleka kwa chakula, ingine unapeleka kwa chakula ya mifugo, ingine pia unaangalia wale ambao hawajiwezi, pia nao unawashughulikia. Na tunaomba Mwenyezi Mungu atuzidishie mvua, sababu nayo mvua ndio imeweza kutupea at least ile uhakika ya kwamba maisha itakuwa mazuri, na pia matarajio yangu hii mwaka, na bado sijakamilisha. Naona tu ile malengo nilikuwa nimepanga kufanya hii mwaka nitatimiza kabla ya huu mwaka uishe.
Kibinafsi nimeona huu mwaka kwangu ulikuwa na challenge sana, kwa sababu ukilinganisha na miaka ambayo iliyopita, pengine sababu ya kiangazi ambayo kilikuwa, lakini kwangu nimeona nilikuwa na matumaini huu mwaka ambao tulianza, nikisema ingawa kulikuwa na uchaguzi, nikaona tu mambo yatakuwa mazuri kuhusu mambo ya kiuchumi, lakini kwangu naona huu mwaka ulikuwa mzuri kwa sababu ya mambo ya kiuchumi. Kulikuwa na changamoto nyingi sana. Ile nyingine niseme, nilikuwa na matarajio mengi mwaka huu, lakini kuna baadhi ya hala sijafikia kwa sababu ya hali ya uchumi. Kwa hivyo ulikuwa mgumu sana. Kwa hivyo tunatarajia mwaka wa 2023 itakuwa bora zaidi, tukiomba Mola.
Ilikuwa one of the most competitive year, most from the president all the way to the MCA, na tukapata changamoto nyingi, lakini tunamshukuru Mungu ya kwamba tuliweza kushinda na kuibuka washindi. Ile changamoto zilikuwa katika mwaka huu, tukikumbuka kwamba kumekuwa na hali ya janga la njaa katika taifa letu, pia uchumi ukadorora, kukawa na pata nishike, mambo ya mafuta ikapanda juu, bei ya kila kitu ikaenda juu, ndio tunaita kwa lugha ya kimombo inflation. The cost of living was so high and inflation cost of living was too high, and it is like people have given up on life.
Mwaka ya 2022 pia imekuwa na changamoto sababu biashara imeenda chini kabisa sababu ya ile COVID. Hata ukiangalia biashara yenye tunafanya hapa saa hii ni masaa mbaya, lakini naniona bado nafanya kazi. Inamaanisha biashara imekuwa chini, lakini tuko na imani na serikali iliyoko itafufua uchumi na kila kitu itazidi kuwa salama.
My 2022 has its shares of ups and downs, and I'm grateful to God that I'm alive. With the challenges of COVID-19, elections, businesses being shutting down some, I'm still grateful for the far that we have come as a country, as an individual, and for the peace that we have had all along before and after elections.
It has not been a very easy year, also having drought in Kenya. And as we close the year, we can see the Lord has answered us in many ways, like even bringing rains to us. So now we have food. And we just continue praying that God will continue to give us peace as Kenya.
Kumekuwa na janga la kitaifa la njaa. Mwaka huu vile vile umeibuka kwa mwaka mgumu zaidi katika miaka ile yote ambayo imetangulia. Na nikisema hivyo ni kwamba mvua imekataa. Uchumi umezoroteka. Ieleweke tu kwamba kabla ya mwaka huu huko nyuma kulikuwa na corona. Uchumi miaka miwili iliyoisha sikuzoroteka, ulikufa kabisa. Sasa basi huu mwaka umekuwa mwaka wa changamoto. Umekuwa mwaka wa changamoto Januari, mwezi wa pili, wa tatu, wa nne. Hatimaye kilele kwa mwezi wa sita. Sasa ikawa ni kilele cha siasa, mpishe huyu apite huyu. Ikawa sasa ni ile siasa ya mirengo, mgawanyiko wa viongozi wanagawanyana mrengo huu, mrengo ule. Watu wakatarajia pengine kutakuwa na umwagikaji wa damu. Mungu akasaidia, watu wakachaguana, viongozi wakachaguliwa tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8. Ikawa sasa kuna utata katika kura ya rais.
All right. Yeah, I mean, clearly, it's like, whew. Right? It's been quite an eventful year. Yes. But before you respond to that, because I do not want to give you just a 1 minute for you to respond to what people are saying, because a lot of things has been cited: drought, politics, the economy, high cost of living, businesses were closed, and then expectations. Mimi nilikuwa nataka kuomoka like that guy said, but that has not happened. So when we come back from the break, we'll give you a chance to respond to that, and how does that make you feel, and how do we navigate from the same. But also we'll be reading your feedback as far as the question that we asked you, and that is, how has 2022 been for you? All that is coming up after the break. Stay with us. This is Your World.
Recharge today and get upgraded.
Feliz Navidad, hijos.
This is the best Christmas ever.
Star Times. Enjoy digital life.
When selecting a program to study, keep your desired career path in mind. This ensures that the knowledge and skills you gain are applicable to your future career.
Apply now and begin your journey to transformative leadership in your area of training. Simply log on to www.parkuniversity.ac.ke.
Park University, where leaders are made.
FIFA would have just said, you know what, let's do this. We will give you the song. Do a vote, a global vote. Which song do people prefer? Do you prefer this one or this one? Okay, fine. So every World Cup cycle, you just refine it. Give it a local flavor. Because this song is forgettable.
Let me try and give you something about it. Hopefully it will make it less forgettable. They say this music video done for the song, it celebrates the groundbreaking inclusion of female referees at the World Cup. That's why they're all in the video.
That's fantastic.
But it's the beat you have a problem with.
Yes, because music is about what you're hearing, not what you're seeing.
I get you, because this was fantastic.
It gives you that, like, you feel like standing up.
Spot On, in association with Visa. Tap to pay with your Visa card.
Whether pitched in the grasslands of the Masai Mara or the Serengeti National Park, a tent brings a huge thrill that lurks in the four corners of the house. I'm up and about in Kenya to find out why more people are seeking cheaper, fun-filled excursions.
Well, this is the only female-run, female-owned garage in the whole of the Gambia. And get this, the CEO is only 30 years old.
Crystal Rivers Residences, the future of fine living.
Fandapilosis catastrophe bwana. Ni Papa Charles hapa. Ati sasa juu ni Christmas mumeanza kupanga mafood fight. Yaani vita na chakula. Simunialikeko tu dakika moja nipanue mdomo watu wanitwange na chapati za pinda za paa kwa mdomo, yaani aish. Iko hita hii Christmas. To get Christmas food fight by Papa Jasper, dial *812*805#. Skiza, Nan Nation.
Welcome welcome back. Yes, of course, we keep talking, even during the break, the conversation and all those things. But welcome back. Glad to stay with us. The show is Your World. And of course, it's all about taking stock as far as 2022, how the year has been for you, whether, you know, the ups, the downs, the in-betweens, the lessons that you've learned from the year, and what you're taking to 2023. So, of course, we just looking at how then we navigate, especially in moments of uncertainty, right? How do you navigate that? And of course, it's a very interesting conversation that we're having today with Judy Mzungu, who's a life coach. And there's something that you said earlier on, and that is finding your center.
Yes.
We'll come back to that, but very quickly before I forget, you know, the vox pops and you know what some people had to say as far as how the year has been. Ule mtu alikuwa anataka kuomoka, hajaomoka bado, akona a few days before we end 2022. Hajaomoka bado. So then what do you make of you know, the sentiments that people have as far as the year?
I think even as we consider, forget 2022, as we consider life in general, we have to be open to the fact that sometimes you will find the curveballs in the journey of life.
You do.
Sometimes you'll find a pothole, sometimes you'll find a bump, sometimes you'll find that the road is taking a bend.
Yeah.
And it's important, even in all those seasons and in all those situations of life, that we'll be able to carry the positive things.
Yeah.
I liked one lady who said Kenya was peaceful. The rest of the people were complaining, yet we all were worried.
We were.
In come August, that this thing could have gone any way. I remember it was a prayer item. Kenyans have not prayed like we prayed in 2022. But that the fact that actually God answered, and really we went through a peaceful election, I think that's a good place to start.
All right. Finding the good in the bad.
Yes, yes.
All right.
And then again, we have survived.
I mean, here we are.
Yeah, think about it. The cost of vegetable oil had really gone up, but you can see it coming down in the stores. That's a good indicator. Something is beginning to come back to normal. So it's important for us to not always look for the bad, because your mindset is going to affect how you're going to project into the future. If you sit down and think about the negative things, you will hardly have strength to rise up and begin to move forward. So it's important for you to take stock, even forget now yourself, because that's where we started. Think about the environment. What good can you take even in what is going on? Because the truth is, even in the COVID season, when businesses were shut, the truth is some businesses
actually thrived. Yes.
Forget thriving. That's when some of us as life coaches actually started.
I see that. Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So there's always something. There's always an opportunity, even in that dark season, if we can only be able to see it. Yeah. And so it's going to be a call for us to also look at our mindset and understand that, yes, it's been tough, but what is the good that we can take out of this, so that we can use that good to be able to navigate and strengthen us to be able to move forward.
Absolutely. I mean, like they say, every experience, there's always a lesson from the same. Majority of the times we don't look at what we're gaining from that experience, especially the bad ones. The good ones we can always celebrate, be like, you know, it's been a good year, it's been this, it's been that. I started my business, you know, I got that dream job, I got my first car, I got this, I got that, you know, all those things. It's easy for us to celebrate. But then again, when the bad comes, we don't really focus and see, okay, so what is it that I'm learning from this
It's interesting, Winnie, even
right?
as a life coach, many times, by the time someone is coming, they don't even see the fact that they got married, they don't see the fact that they have children, they don't see the fact that they graduated. All of that is lost in all this complaining. You understand? So someone forgets to take stock of actually what they have that they can carry with them. And I think that's important, even as we think into 2023. Can you stop for a moment to think about the good? That would be a good starting point.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at how the year has been. Figure out the lessons that you've learned and then carry those lessons to 2023. All right. Let's sample some of the feedback as far as the question, and that is, how has 2022 been for you? Let's get to hear what you have to say, you know, as far as the question of the day. And on social media, someone was actually saying, hustle, hustle, hustle. They hustled so hard in 2022. All right. Martin Moy says, I lost a lot, like a lot. Wait, I lost a lot, like a lot got lost of me. Why? Now, I'm no longer scared of anything. Oh no, Martin, what happened? All right. And then Cynthia Manasseh says, imenivuruga kimapenzi jameni to, been single tana. She's been single tana. All right. And then Mafatrono says, it has been good, but bado si kuomoka. We try again next year. This kuomoka thing, we really wanted to omoka in 2022. All right. Kiplagat C. Duncan says, God is really fighting do you mean for us or for you? Says your loved one, friends can desert you, but he, the Lord, stood with me. All right. And then Okal Meshak Ohato says, mimi sina maoni kabisa. And then, is it Tibe Magangi says, what a issue too. It's been hell to me. Oh no. All right. And then Naito Louis says, 2022, a year of queuing, tough year na. Queue for oil, election, money, and etc. All right. And then Bathmew Meo says, amazing. Yani, kissing someone well, her father is clapping. Harusi terms. Okay, you know what? They got married in 2022. Okay. Kevin Kiva says, I thank God. He blessed me with a baby girl. Oh, congratulations. And then Steve Davis says, I am health na meant I think healthy na nina breathe poor. I thank God for that. Nimekula hasla fan pia. All right, so then Tyrannus Mutembe says hustle after hustle, thank God we got paid. Okay. Okay, it's a good thing. But again, I think we can see it's been a bit of there's good and then there's bad for other people. Yes. And especially for those people who really lost a lot during 2022 and finding, because like we're talking about, every experience has a lesson, comes with a lesson. And especially for someone who's lost so much, maybe has lost their job, maybe has lost a loved one, maybe has lost, wealth, or whatever it is that someone has lost in 2022. And just looking at life and thinking, then what's more? What's left? Because this is the person, I think, was it the first comment or the second one that we read said, I'm not even scared of anything anymore because it's been, that tough. How do you, first of all, pick up, and finding meaning and finding purpose from the lost and finding the strength, like you said, to move forward?
It goes back to just knowing who you are.
Okay.
When you come to the place of knowing who you are, Winnie, a job stops defining you.
Oh.
A relationship stops defining you. A marriage stops defining you. They're good, but they're not everything that you live for.
All right.
You understand?
Yeah.
Which means then that even if should the job go away, somehow you'll find capacity to bounce back.
All right.
Should the relationship fail, somehow you'll find capacity to bounce back. Why? Because your sense of worth is not pegged on that job. Your sense of worth is not based on a person.
Yeah.
Something shifts when someone knows themselves.
All right.
And that's my call for everyone, even as we come to the end of 2022.
All right.
Yeah.
Then how do we get to that point? I know earlier on when we started the show, you said, some people, some of us were lazy to do introspection.
Yes.
Really. But sometimes someone might be like, then how? How do I get to that level of self-awareness? Because there's some people who are still battling, identity, struggling to understand, so who am I, where do I fit in, what are my strengths, what are my flaws, and how do I balance both? Because again, we're not perfect, right?
True,
we're flawed, people, but we also have like our own strengths and our unique strengths at that. So then how do I get to that level of finding myself and really understanding who I am?
Who you are. That's a good question. I think my main guide, I'll just guide someone who probably really would like to know. Try as much as you can. Go back into every quarter of your life and remember your achievements.
Okay.
It could be that you are a leader. It says something about you.
All right.
It could be that you did well in school. It says something about you. It could be that... let me give you a story so that you can be able to get where I'm going with this.
Right.
There's a lady who came to me as a life coach, and she was like, Judy, do I even have a gift?
Yeah. People struggle with this.
Yes. Do I even have a gift? I was like, okay, fine, let's just go through this and So as we went through the life coaching, one of the, some of the questions that I asked her is, what were you good at in school, in primary, in nursery? What do you remember?
Example, if you can remember, yeah.
And she could remember that people used to read her compositions. She was good in English. She was, and when I looked at her workbook, the way she wrote was very poetic. What this girl did not know is that her father was a journalist, but he died when she was 4 years old. Oh. She had actually picked up the gift from her father.
All right.
But it was lost to her because in all the trash that she had gone through in life, she had almost forgotten who she was.
Who she is, yeah.
At the time that I was meeting her, this girl had not tapped into her gift. As I speak to today, she's doing a business as an online content writer.
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
So the thing is actually hidden deep inside of you. All you need is someone to help you to tap into it. And the moment you're able to tap into it, that's it. I'll tell you my own story. I was a writer. Actually, I wanted to become a journalist when I was young.
You still can.
Well, life has taken a different. So yeah. So I wanted to become a journalist. I remember going to KTN offices when they used to be at Nyayo House many years ago, and trying to just do a screen test, and they told me I looked too young on the screen, and for me that dream was lost.
Yeah.
And so the trajectory of my life, I went into secretarial, went into becoming a salesperson, went into becoming a marketer, and I thought that was it for me. Let me tell you, I rediscovered my writing gifts in that wilderness season that I told you. For 4 years, I didn't have a job. And I remember someone came, and it will just come to you as a chance opportunity. Someone just came to me and told me, would you transcribe for me as someone that I have done? In that transcribing that someone, that's when I discovered my writing gift.
All right.
And that's how I started writing articles on Facebook. And my articles, because I had been through a dark season, were based on the dark season that I had been in.
Yeah.
But many people could relate to that because it was different from everything else everyone writes. And so based on that, someone else came and said, Judy, why don't you go on YouTube and start a YouTube channel, because what you're writing is relatable. He was a producer in a radio station. And so he told me, I can do for you the jingle for free. I'm telling you how, the moment you begin to tap into what is inside of you, God will almost begin to strategically position people, opportunities and resources to answer to what it is that is inside of you. And that's a message of encouragement to someone outside there who feels like hustle after hustle, life has come to an end. Even at that particular point, that's when God will just introduce a new version of you. I had forgotten who I was. In the 9 to 5s. That's why I said sometimes 9 to 5s can cloud and cover who you are.
Okay.
So today my speaking is actually a gift that I was given to me as a child. I used to be very good in public speaking. I was the #1 debater in primary school. I had forgotten all that. It was tapped into in that wilderness season. And that's to encourage someone who has gone through a wilderness season. That wilderness season is meant to introduce you to the real version of who you are. If you can only take time and find out who you are, even in the dark moments.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's not easy at that time because you will not see it. Remember,
you will not see it. And the truth is, bills are here. You panic. I panicked, Twinny. Tumbo inashikana, you know. You're wondering, oh my God, what's going to happen? The bills, you know. It's the truth.
Yes.
But in that season, I mean, I have coached various people by the time people come for coaching, usually they're going through a dark season. But if you are able to tap into that person and just wait it out, I don't want to fool someone that just because you've gone through coaching, then the waiting is over. We have to teach people to wait. We have to teach people, even as we are coming through the difficult season of the fuel prices, you know, and the vegetable oil. It's not going to change overnight. We have to be willing as a nation, we have to be willing as individuals to understand that there's going to be a process of rebuilding. And that means that we must have a mindset shift.
Okay.
For us then to be able to move and take the correct trajectory for where God wants to take us. But if we spend a lot of time complaining, we won't get there.
We will not get there, absolutely. And also you talked about finding your own center, right?
Yes.
Understanding, like, it doesn't matter whatever it is that has happened in the year 2022.
Yes.
We find our center, you know, that place where we can always you know, go back to and find some sort of peace, even as we try to figure out, okay, sawa, sikuomoka 2022 as I had planned to, or as I had wished to.
Yes.
But, you know, going back to our center, finding it then, you know, just figure a way out.
Yes.
Sikuomoka 2023.
Yes.
But really also dealing with, like, you know, life.
Yes,
really.
that's true.
Yeah.
So you're asking me how do we find your center?
Yes.
Back to the same thing, going back to into quarter 4, quarter 3, quarter 2, quarter 1, finding out the gifts and abilities. But then again, there's something, because I'm a realignment coach. So basically what I do is to teach you, each and every one of us, your spirit, soul, body.
Okay.
So when you think about centering, it's important for you to understand, first, your spirit man must be fed.
Okay.
Take time in stillness and quietness. Now, that's what many people want to run away from. And that's what I was talking about, the place of introspection. Okay. Yeah. Then your mindset, your intellect, make sure that you're putting in the correct material in your mind, so that is what now you will work with to take you where you need to go. Then the place of your emotions. What is the state of your emotions? We're talking about centering. Because if you're carrying hatred, anger, all these things, very difficult for you to be able to move forward. So it's important, even as we move forward into 2023, to come into that place of peace, to come into the place of forgiveness, to come into the place of harmony, so that then it's only in that place that you can begin to have creative ideas and strategies necessary to take you to 2023. Then it's important for you to have willpower, to have zeal, passion, and enthusiasm. That can only happen because over and above everything else that has happened, somehow you can be able to see the positives. That's what is going to fire you up to move. Physical. It's important for you, I'm talking about the body now. It's important for you now to also begin to check. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you touch? What do you feel? What do you smell? What does your environment look like?
Yeah. Okay.
Because if you take in a lot of the negatives, and you can tell from a lot of the people who are commenting, they've been able to take in a lot of negatives that it's becoming very, very difficult for them to be able to navigate through the season and come out on the other side. The truth is, even in the darkest season, we can all come out. The only thing is, check what you're seeing, check your mental capacity, check your emotional capacity, check your spiritual capacity. Actually, the most positive person you had on those comments was that lady. She seemed to speak a lot about God. And I'm not talking about people running to God and actually moving away from the intellectualism. Because the truth is, there's a good balance between us being spiritual and also having the intellectual and mental capacity. If that comes into a good marriage, let me tell you, and you have peace and harmony, and then what will happen? You'll begin to see vision for where God needs to take you next.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
But someone might say, listen, it all seems so easy and so, you know.
Yes.
But like we said, we have to put in the work.
Yes.
Because someone might say, but isn't it normal to just complain kidogo about how things have been and all those things? But don't stay there forever. You know, find the good in all those things. But what about those people who had an amazing year?
Yes.
Right? And they're thinking, hey, so what do I do with all this, you know, feeling, and I do not want it to end, or, you know, still, how do you deal with, you know, that protecting that space where you are in, and that is of, you know, gratitude and celebrating and appreciating how the year has been. How do you then not lose that, so that in the eventuality that something happens, you know, you encounter a bump, you do not go down, you know, the drain just because something has happened and, you know, sort of like stolen your joy.
Okay. Going back to being centered.
Okay.
When you're centered, even when the highs come, they don't change who you are.
All right.
That's where now, yes, you will find success, but it doesn't change you.
Okay.
You get? That means that because you are centered, you will celebrate, and that will give you an anchor to know that great days do come. But when the low moments come, you will remember the good moments, and that will give you strength to be able to move forward.
Okay.
But that will only be as long as you are centered, where therefore you are not defined by the highs and the lows of life.
Yeah. All right. Expectations. Let's talk about expectations.
Yes.
A lot of the times we're told, do not have any expectations. But I'm thinking, come on, like, how do you go about life with, like, zero expectations, you know, where you said, yeah, you're like, no. What is that?
No, it's very, very important for people to have expectations. Actually, one of the things, and I like that you asked that, if there's one thing that life and people and adulthood takes away from us is the capacity to dream.
Okay.
So it's important for people to have expectations. Yes, go ahead, have those expectations. Go ahead. As a matter of fact, as a life coach, one of my things is to help you to dream again. Because the capacity, your mind thinks in images, by the way. So if your capacity, the capacity of your mind to visualize, the capacity of your mind to have image and to dream is taken out, that's where many of us operate on autopilot. You wake up in the morning, go to work, come back home, pay bills, and it seems like life is that's all that life has to offer. Yet there's so much more. If only you can go back into visualizing, if only you can go back into dreaming, if only you can go back to having greater expectations for what your tomorrow has in store for you.
All right. So it's okay to have expectations.
Have great ones.
Not just expectations. Have
great
ones.
Expectations. Great ones. Knock yourself out.
Okay.
Yes.
But then again, when disappointments come, how do you handle, your expectations? Because there's some people who say, you have unrealistic expectations,
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that we deal with. Because the failures, the hurts, the disappointments of life is actually the thing that the first thing, it messed up with your emotions.
All right.
So when your emotions were messed up, what then happens is that your mental capacity, your intellect was messed up. What then happens is that you begin to lower the expectations that you have of life. Right. You lose your capacity to dream. And with that then, you lose the ability to use your gifts at their optimum. They are there, but they are not being used.
All right.
Many of us actually, it's not that the fact that you don't have gifts and abilities, is because over time you lost the capacity to use them, so they are lying within you.
Yeah. Okay. They're just dormant.
They're dormant.
Okay.
So what we need then is to help people to get the capacity to first and foremost know your identity, such that if you know your identity, even when the hurt comes and the disappointment comes, you will still stay. Now, what happens because you are spiritual? Remember, we talked about spiritual alignment. Because you're spiritual, what then happens, the dream, the desire that you have is emanating from the place of the spirit. Therefore, you're operating from a place of revelation. The conviction is deeper. What happens? The people that you keep hearing, I tried a business, tried, and it kept failing. And I kept going at it. What is the difference? They have revelation.
All right.
They're not operating from a place of head knowledge.
Okay. Hey, all right, something to think about. Okay. So as we bring this to a close, because literally we have to end the show in the next maybe like 2 minutes.
Yes.
Lessons that we're carrying from 2022. Like we said, a lot happened, has been such an eventful year. But again, we've learned so much, about the year and about ourselves.
Yes.
So then what lessons should we carry to 2023?
I think 2023, more than anything, carry a sense of identity, know who you are, carry your ability, your mental capacity, remember your gifts and abilities, carry your capacity to dream and go right ahead and dream. And knowing who you are, even if the disappointment comes, you will be able to bounce back again.
All right, okay. We leave the complaining to 2022.
By all means, let's not complain. Let's carry lessons.
Okay,
yes.
carry lessons. But I think one of the things that we can learn from ourselves as a people and as a country is how resilient we are.
Totally.
Right?
Totally.
Right?
Totally.
We're very, very resilient. So I think that's a really good thing to carry from 2023.
Yes.
We're enjoying peace in the country, which is a good thing. Let's carry that, to 2023 and all those things.
Okay. And because we are resilient, we can bounce back again.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
It doesn't matter how long it takes.
Let's go back and dream.
Yeah.
We are resilient. If it doesn't work out, we will bounce back again.
Absolutely. All right. And what a way to end the conversation. Thank you very much, Judy, for coming by this morning. Judy Mzungu, life coach, really helping us understand how do we navigate in points or in times of uncertainty. The year has been, it's been that year, all right? Good and the bad, and of course the lessons that we carried as well. So thank you so much for coming by this
You're
morning.
most welcome. Thanks for having me.
Karibu sana. And of course a lot that, again, to think about, okay? So at that point of finding your center, I think that's a very, very important thing to think about. So think about it, even as you write down your goals, your vision boards. All right, think about that as well, even as we prepare for 2023. But for now, we have to end it here. My name is Winnie Lumbembe. Have yourselves a lovely day ahead. Thank you very much for contributing to the show as well. We'll see you tomorrow morning, same time, same place, right here on Your World. But until then, like we always say, stay safe and God bless. Goodbye.
Flavor, fruity freshness in every sip.
Karibuni sana, karibuni. Niwauzie?
Ugali matumbo batia mimi.
Ugali matumbo! Na wewe?
Ipe wali maragwe.
Wali? Wewe, mchele madando hapo.
Nilikuwa nataka kaomena na kadoma.
Customer, usijali chakula yako tutakutengenezea kwa dili yako tu.
Maisha yako, mapendeleo yako. Tunukiwa na Safaricom. Chagua bei yako ya kupigia simu au data. Piga *444# au utembelee My Safaricom app upate deal poa ya kupiga simu. Uongee zaidi au ubrowse zaidi.
Nataka chapati na crips.
Mala sausage.
Nataka ugali na
Just 17 months ago, Spain made a run to the semi-finals at Euro 2020, heightening expectations ahead of the 2022 World Cup. That Spain failed to meet those expectations has brought disappointment and the exit of manager Luis Enrique.